ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां पञ्च
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुस्तुवागुंसत्तनूभिः व्यशेमेदं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृत्रश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति रक्ष्राक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay, with that we had seen the 28th verse last time, right?
29th also, sir.
This is the 29th.
We are doing or we had done the 29th? We had done the 29th, okay. So,
We were doing it.
what is that?
We were doing it.
We were doing
We
it, yeah.
started.
29th we are not done completely, we just started that. See, up to 28th verse, if you look at it, various opinions on what is reality. Nobody is saying Atma is like this. Nobody is saying Brahman is like this. But everybody has an opinion on what the reality is. That's what's being highlighted here. Okay? People may not have even heard of Brahman or Atma. But they'll say, I am like this only. Okay? So, all these different opinions on the reality is taking a more global stand, not just an individualistic stand. All these opinions of the reality show what? That there is confusion on what the reality is, because different opinions exist means nobody knows clearly what it is. Even if it is an opinion that is generated by observation of data and scientific processes, we always find in any scientific process, you observe some data and evolved a theory out of it. Okay? Or you had a theory in your mind and you looked at data to see whether it is possible. Both are done. Okay? And in any theory that is proposed, there will be some data that won't fit in. Any scientific theory that is proposed, there will be data that doesn't fit in. When the data that doesn't fit in comes to about 30%, they'll start looking for a new theory. Because now you have to make that 30% fit in. That's why for 2 generations at least, 2 generations about 60 years, 50, 60 years, ever since Einstein's time, they have been searching for a grand unified theory to unify various opinions of the 4 forces, 4 major forces that is at work in the universe. Not yet come up with it. Not yet come up with it. So, all these shows what? There is ignorance about the reality. There is ignorance about the reality. That's all it proves. Okay? Any opinion, any view will have a limited function. I can say energy is everything and give you exercises to tap into that energy, to increase your energy. All that will work. Create issues also. Okay. But all of you who are trying to do all these things by yourself, please be very careful. This also I have to strike a note of caution, because one of my junior Guru Bhais, okay, one of my junior Guru Bhais, he is into a big problem. One second, there's something wrong with this. Yeah. He got into a big problem. What is that? He has a big problem of dry eyes getting dry. So much so that there are needle-like formations that happen near on the cornea, which once a week he has to go to an ophthalmologist and get it knocked off. So he can barely keep his eyes open. Only for a few minutes at a time he can keep it open. Medically, there is no reason why it should happen except dry eyes. Then we looked at it karmically and found that in a previous lifetime, lot of the Surya Upasana he done has gone wrong. Surya is connected with the eyes. Okay, all Surya Upasanas are connected with the eyes. So it had gone wrong and he got into this trouble in this lifetime. So all those who go on the net and try to do this thing, that thing. Now I know many of you pick up mantras from the net and things like that. Okay? Don't be stupid. Okay? Don't pick up any mantra from the net and this and that and practice it. Okay? Even if you have been initiated into a mantra, because you don't have the big picture with you. Since you don't have the big picture, don't try all these stunts with sadhanas. Okay? You'll get into a problem like he got into. So, another person in Rishikesh who has done, I talked about him before, who has done some energy work, etc. He has gone completely off mentally. Completely. Some of you have come to Rishikesh have seen him. He'll always come and talk to me and go. Every time he comes to the ashram, he'll come and talk to me and go. But he cannot be coherent in what he is saying. I know that something has gone wrong, but I don't know what he has practiced to help him get out of it. And without knowing what he has practiced, if I try to help him, it may worsen the problem. So be careful when you try all these stunts, okay? Because many of us think Google is God.
What about the Gayatri?
Beg your pardon?
What about the Gayatri? What about this guy?
Anything that you have been given by a teacher or in the parampara, do that. I am talking about doing this on your own.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything that has been come through a parampara is fine. Provided that parampara is authentic.
Swamiji,
Beg your pardon?
Swamiji,
Yeah.
Swamiji, I would like to say, how do you know that this is from the right parampara?
Come and talk to me. Or talk to anybody else whom you trust.
Okay.
So, this is where the thing is. But be careful, even if a popular guru is doing it, it can stir up things and they may not be, because nowadays gurus appoint assistant teachers in their place who are not fully qualified. Like one person was teaching Shakti Chalan, a very popular figure. And one of a girl was coming to me, attended that program. I said, go try it out, see what it is. And then lot of her past life memories started coming up, which was really troubling her. It was problematic. She went back to the teacher is not there, he has gone. He's a very popular guy, he keeps roaming all over the world. Controversial guy a bit, but it goes on. She went back to the teacher who was there in Bombay and said, hey, what do I do? He said, keep doing the thing, nothing else is going to. Keep doing the thing, the problem is getting worse. Luckily she knew me, she came to me, I helped her handle it, it took some time. So be careful of this also. So as I said, how do you know someone asked, how do you know the parampara, right? I don't know. Be careful where you go and what you do. That's all I can say. Okay? When in doubt, always check. Anyway, that apart. So all of them will work up to a point. That's the idea. And why do people hold on to this as reality, as absolute? Look at the next verse, 29th verse that we are saying. Yam bhavam darshiyed yasya tam bhavam sadupashyati. Some teacher, some guru, some trainer, some person in a position of authority, leadership, gurudom, whatever. Okay? Yam bhavam darshayati. He showed you something. He gave you a perspective of things. Tam bhavam tapashyati. And you saw that fact of it, because it's a perspective of things, and that perspective you are intelligent enough to see. Okay, fine. Then what happens? Tam cha avati sabhutva asau tad graha sampopaititam. So you see that, and that protects you, he says. Protects you in what sense? That some things in your life works out. Oh, I'm low energy, this, that, do this practice. Now I'm feeling good about it. It works so well, I learned this from the net. This breathing practice is so good. The amount of yoga teachers who come and tell me this nonsense, I have lost track of. So, but you get some benefits out of it. In that way, it protects you. And then, what happens? Somebody shows you, somebody whom you respect or you look up to, or is a popular figure, shows you a perspective. You buy into that perspective. Then you do some practice, etc., and it seems to benefit you. What will happen? That is reality for you. Tam upaiti tam. You take that as a reality. You can spend a lifetime with that, on a trip with that. So in today's world, along with Shraddha, some critical thinking also is necessary. Not today's world, any world. Never give up your independent thinking. Clear, independent thinking. Never give that up. Whomever you go to, including me. Okay? And when you come to me. In fact, I'll make you think more deeply. I don't ask you to give up your thinking. Clarity of thought is necessary. That is why the beautiful thing in the Upanishad, Nasti akritaha kritena. The limitless cannot be gained by action. Akritaha, that which cannot be created, cannot be gained by action. So, all these are practices, all these are techniques, they're fine, they're useful. Nobody is dismissing them as useless. But how much of it is useful? Everything is useful. Don't expect Vedanta to solve all your problems. Samji, is there anything in the Upanishad for losing weight? What do I tell this idiot? Really? I mean, what do I tell to such an idiotic question? What do I even respond? So I very seriously tell them, there is one exercise mentioned that will make you lose your weight. What is that? Exercise is very simple. Whenever anyone offers you food, you lose weight. Yeah. What is to tell? So everything is useful from a certain standpoint. Yeah. Everything is useful to a certain point. Yeah. What is the best puja I can do? What is the best medicine I can take? If somebody asks me a question, what is the best medicine I can take? Potassium cyanide. Why? Your body will not exist, then for no problem. All problems short off. I mean, what do I tell? What is the best puja to do? What is it that you want in your life? Accordingly, we will do something. What is it that you are facing in life? What is it that you want? Then accordingly, we will do something. That means what? It is useful from a certain perspective only, no? But this is what happens to people. Because something has been pointed out, you found it works in your life up to a point, you hold on to that as a reality. Our respect for the teacher should not go to ridiculous amounts. Like I know this organization, there was a great teacher, world famous, very well known, great person. He inspired me. I respect him. Yeah. They're publishing his books. There's a grammatical error that has crept in. We can't correct it. That is Swamiji's words. Arey Baba, it's a grammatical error. What about that? No, keep the grammatical error there. How do you know that this grammatical error was in what Swamiji said, or in what it was because of the person who transcribed it? How do you know the difference? You mean to say someone who transcribed it can't have it? It could have been simple by transcription problem, no? Someone who transcribed it created issues on that. He made his mistake come in. So our respect should not go to such ridiculous extents. Like I made on this discussion we had on Vedanta. Okay. I made some points which Puja Swamiji has not made. I said, Swamiji, where are you getting these points from? Puja Swamiji has not made these points. I said, I am only extending what Puja Swamiji implied. In these arguments, all these things are implied, and as a good student, I am just expressing it further. Can you say, Puja Swamiji has not said it, therefore I will not say it? That will be ridiculous. Yeah. So, keep all this in mind, because where you are given some commitment, time, effort, energy, etc., you take that as reality in your life. Therefore, any of these viewpoints can be your viewpoints. One step, but this is only conditioning level. One step more and it becomes brainwashing. Like what happens to a terrorist, etc. You are brainwashed to do anything. That's one step more, that's all. So, this is already halfway house, okay? Yeah. When you take a perspective as true. Yeah. So, this is how misinterpretation of the reality happens. Yeah. Okay. एतैः एष अपृथक् भावैः पृथक् एवेति लक्षितः एवं यो वेद तत्त्वेन कल्पते स्व अविशङ्कितः एतैः एष अपृथक् भावैः. All these that are present, really speaking, all these 10 points are not different from the self. Energy, is it different from the self? From the reality?
No.
Creation?
Then it is Vaitam.
Yeah, creation? No.
Vaitam.
All these are manifestations of the reality. Then what is the mistake that is being made? The manifestation is taken as a reality and you are holding on to that. You are becoming unidimensional. But Pritag Eva iti Lakshitaha, they appear different. And you are giving it a reality that it does not have. One is looking at the world, other is looking at yourself also. And once you give your opinion a reality, how far is it from being a control freak and want others to become to buy into that. Swamiji, we don't do that. You do that with your partner in life, with your children. There you do what your opinion of the world should be. I'm talking of adult children. I'm not talking of a 5-year-old, okay? I'm talking of 30-year-olds or 25-year-olds. There is where the problem comes. So, yeah. Should we take the other books and everything is right? Everything is not right. Everything is a perspective of things. So one perspective, it has its limited function and use. Therefore, pritageva lakshitaha, there is where the problem is. All these ideas of the reality are not different from the reality. They are based on the reality, but they are taken as different, distinct, independent. And as the reality, there is where the problem is. I believe God is an old man in heaven. You want to worship him like that? No problems. Please worship. We understand Ishvara can be invoked in any form. No, this is only Ishvara. There is where the problem is. Then I'll want to convert you to my thinking. Because I am doubtful, therefore there is safety in numbers. I feel secure in numbers. That's where the problem is. Pritagiva lakshitaha. Ye evam yo vedaha. One who understands this, he says, tattvena. That means what? After that, he says these are all different perspectives of life, and he understands the reality. Then what will happen? Okay. Tattvena kalpetu avishangitaha. There is no more doubt in him. There is no doubt in him. Why? A different viewpoint cannot create a doubt in me. Why? Because I have the vision of the whole, I know where to fit it. It's part of the mithya world, and this is exactly where it fits in. This is where it fits in. Not an issue. Not an issue. But for that you need to have the vision of the whole. And the vision of the whole doesn't come without a thorough grounding in the Upanishad, in the Shastra. If the thorough grounding is not there, how do you expect that to happen? So, as part of the thorough grounding, sometimes these various viewpoints will have to be dismissed as wrong for moksha. For gaining moksha, this viewpoint is wrong. It will have to be said. You can't afford to get emotional there. The famous story is about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Everyone recognizes Ramakrishna Paramahamsa as a realized soul. It's a great master. No doubt on that. But before he became a great master, okay, he used to struggle with the understanding. And his guru is good. His guru was Totapuri, by the way. Would give him various things to do, etc., understand, learn. Somewhere he was getting stuck. So Totapuri told him one day, tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock, I want you on the river bank. And bring your Lala that you worship. That time he used to worship Krishna as a Bala Gopala. What do you call Lala? In North India it's called Lala. Or Laddu Gopal. There are various terms. Bala Gopala in South, Laddu Gopal or Lala. So get your Lala and come. Ramakrishna was thrilled. He had not yet become Paramahamsa. Okay, was thrilled. Some new sadhana, great. Because we get very sadhana oriented, when we study. Swamiji, give me some sadhana. What should I do? Narayana, I'm saying something you have to understand. What you should do. Then you'll go to 101 temples, you have this thing, that thing. Natak Baji. Anyway, so this guy was caught. So Ramakrishna presented. He said, okay, throw off your upper jacket, etc., with just a dhoti around his waist. Let's go into the river. Carry your lala with you. Carry the, and he's walking to the river. When the water became chest high, okay, Totapuri tells him, now drop your lala into the river. Huh? Yes. Drop him. Let go. Because when you worship the Murti, the only way you can stop that worship is setting the Murti free in the river. Something like a Visarjan. Okay. With a prayer, let it go. Ramakrishna was in tears. But Totapuri was a tough master. He said, do it. That's it. Nothing else. He did it. And it is said that that day everything clicked for Ramakrishna. When he came out and sat in the explanations that Totapuri did, it all clicked for him. He went into Samadhi. It clicked so much into him, it went into Samadhi immediately. One of the stories about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. But it shows how anything can become a condition. And the need to free yourself from that. Balagopal, of course, you invoke Ishvara as Balagopal and worship, very good. Excellent. Brilliant. Especially if you want a child. If you want to have a child, that's a good form to worship. Okay. Yeah. Do that. That's why in South it's also called Santana Gopal. Santana Gopal is Balagopal. And so the form is like that, invoked is like that. And you have a Santana Gopala Homa also. Sometimes they do that in Shankaramatam for Navratri. I think 2 Navratris back they had done it. So, it's good up to from a point of view. No? Like today morning was Swayamvara Parvati Homa. You think I'll go anywhere near that? It's meant for getting married. थोड़ा दूर रहना अच्छा है.
Most married men would also go.
Yeah. Some
What
would.
is sufficient?
Some will. And they will say, no, not for me. This is for my child. My daughter is not getting, which is good. Or my grandchild is not getting married. But sometimes secretly there is a this. Okay. Nothing wrong if you want to get married, get married. Yeah, doesn't matter whether you're 8 or 80. Oh, yeah. 8 it matters. 80 it doesn't matter. If you want to get a partner in life, get a partner in life. Unless you already have one, then don't. Okay. So anything works from a perspective. Don't take it as absolute. Yeah. Don't take it as absolute. It's only a perspective. All the perspectives resolve into Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. It resolves into that. And that understanding is what frees you from what is known as the bondage of samsara. Bondage itself is samsara. That is what frees you. Everything else will keep it going. Will keep samsara going. Some of it may help you, give you the means to be free from samsara. Some means it gives you, the ability to study, okay, the money necessary for it, your children being settled down. So all that it can help. So if it is used as a help for all this, there is no issue at all. What is the problem? Yeah. I'm not financially stable. I would like some more money, sir. Financially stable. I don't have to worry about a job, etc. I can spend all my time in Vedanta. A good perspective to have. No? Go do a Lakshmi Kubera Puja and come. Nothing wrong in that. The mistake the karmatas make is karma alone will give me everything. Because see, all this it gives me, yeah. It gives me money, it gives me child, it gives me a partner, it gives me this. What all it cannot give me? Moksha. Everything else it can give you. And what do you really want out of life? Ultimately, what is it that you want? Namji, I am not sure of that. ठीक है, सुन के जाओ फिर. As Taranandagiri would say, nobody is denied from being. Some samskaras will get in. Some shubhecha will start. From there it can become a mukshutvam, etc. It's okay, no problems. But ultimately this is what it's about. Know where a perspective fits in to the vision of the whole. That's why if this is not there, people get rigid about things. Rigid about things, controlling behavior. All these small things come in, and believe me, you can't be a controlling person and say I'll gain moksha. It won't happen. You can't hold on to your belief system and say I'll gain moksha. Understand the perspective of it and it's fine. Have that belief. There's nothing wrong in having a belief, provided you know the limitations of it and put it in perspective of the whole thing. Yeah. You may prefer one sadhana or the other, that's fine. In what I call as secondary sadhanas, there are huge variety available. No? But primary is what? Ignorance is a problem, knowledge is the solution. For that you need to get your mind ready. So all the secondary sadhanas comes in getting the mind ready. So all that will fit into the idea of karma yoga. That's why in the Gita, Krishna says that, no? Lokesmin divida nishta pura prokta maya nakha. Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yogina. Only two lifestyles, nishtas. I said right from the beginning. Beginning means dawn of creation, when human beings came into the world. Sannyasinam, Sankhyanam, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Meva Yoga. Their whole commitment is to knowledge, nothing else. Fast track. Karma Yogena Yogina. For the others who are not yet ready for sannyasa, Karma Yoga. I heard one champion, world famous again, saying this. Jesus talked only about the yoga or devotion. Correct. That much I agree with. Because he talked about devotion and that. Krishna also said the same thing. Narayana. It's very obvious he has not even read the Gita and he has admitted it. He is an uneducated guru. So it's acceptable. There is no bhakti yoga separate, hatha yoga separate, etc. All that is part of karma yoga only. Why? Sannyasa is pursuit of moksha, exclusion to everything else. Is that what you are doing? Yes, I am doing nothing but this. Fine. I am a bhakti yogi. Okay? What do you mean by bhakti yoga? You do acts of worship. It can be from bhajan singing to rituals, whatever you want. Only that? And jnanam? Or other things? No, other things. Then karma yogi. No, hatha yogi. I like standing up on my head. Okay, good. Get a different perspective. Acha hai. Do that only that? No, I have other things. Karma yogi. Only that, sannyasi. Other things, karma yogi. What is it? I do a lot of rituals. Then you are a karmata. Rituals don't make you karma yogi. Rituals with the attitude of prasada buddhi and ishwararpana buddhi makes you a karma yogi. Plus, along with that, you have to be pursuing moksha. Remember, two lifestyles, mokshartham. Not for stress management. Mokshartham. Therefore, the pursuit of moksha is not there. You are not a karma yogi. You are only karmata. Wait ke rituals karo. Day and night will go in that only. Sureshwara somewhere says that more karma you do, more arrogant you get. Naturally, karma is dependent on the aham bhava, and that is based on ignorance. So you strengthen it or weaken it. Yes, Vajavikesha.
Yeah, you have taught us in Naishkarma Siddhi. He says these people doing homa are blinded by the smoke that is coming out of the
Yeah,
home.
I know.
And
Yes.
maybe the same way.
Yeah, he says that. Yeah. Samsaroyam ativa vichitram. That's why who will understand Vedanta clearly? One who says that these are different standpoints for different things. Understand the vision of Vedanta very clearly. Or at least understand this much. If you are trying for the limitlessness, no technique or practice can give it to you. If those technique practices can handle your mind, can make your life smooth a bit. Nothing more than that. And those are big things. Handling your mind is a big thing. Making your life smooth is a big thing. But understand it is only meant for that. Otherwise I joke, you are channelizing your inner Brahmana, One ritual after another ritual, one temple after another temple. Where does it go? Where does it end? This happens to a lot of us. The idea of vacation is going on a temple, no? And all the crowd and the this and that, and it becomes stressful only. Yeah, in a vacation, if you're including a temple, nice. That spiritual dimension is not forgotten. Acha, good. Two days Ashtavinayak Darshan. We have it in Bombay. 2 days you'll get Ashtavinayak Darshan. What have you really seen? Have you really spent some time in the temple? Have you sat down, contemplated, absorbed the energy of each temple is different. The feel of each temple, everything is different. Have you absorbed that? It's like Swami Chinmayanji used to say, you're looking here and clicking there. Because you can't see everything, no? Look here, click there. So that you will see later when you go home. So, keep the whole thing in there, okay? In perspective, you'll see the whole. That'll be fine then. Okay, so Vamshitaha. Now, all these practices, all these viewpoints belong to the world, no? Okay. Then, here is quoting another verse for that, okay? Swapna maye yatha drishte Gandharva nagaram yatha Tavatha vishwamidam drishtam Vedanteshu vichakshanaha. Swapna maye yatha drishte. Okay. In a dream, all that you see, not true. Or maye. Maye meaning in the world, out of magic. Or out of some natural thing. Gandharva nagaram yatha. You see, look at the sky. I have wandered lonely as a crown. Going on the countryside looking at it. Then I'm sitting down, my back to a rock, and looking at the sky. Arey wow, look at that formation of the cloud. There's a castle there. Huge fort there. Castle there. People around. This is called Gandharva Nagaram in Sanskrit. The city of the Gandharvas. You can dream also the city of Gandharvas. Because you saw too much of Bahubali and things like movies like that. I mean, what new movies have come, I don't know, but whatever. You saw that. You dreamed of it. How true is it? How true is it? Okay. Tatha Vishwamidam Drishtam. The same way you are seeing the world. Iti Vedanteshu Vichakshanai. Exactly what Vedanta Vijnanavan says it. Because it's true. What is there is one reality. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? You know, generally we will say there are two standpoints. Okay? One is Srishti Drishti Vada. You might have heard of this. Srishtasya Drishtihi. What is created, you are seeing. Therefore, all this is Ishvara's creation, you are seeing it. This is how we start our teaching of Vedanta. But for Ishvara, how is it? He saw and it was there, no? Drishti eva srishtihi. Isn't it? From Ishvara's standpoint, what is it? He saw and it was there. He conceived of it, it was there. Saw meaning what? A thought. Thought he saw and the thing was there. Drishti eva srishtihi. This is called Drishti srishtihi. In a way, the Drishti srishti is applicable for a wise person also. Not in actually creating, but what is this thing that you see? This world. It's a point of view, isn't it? Table. Table is a point of view only. No? Remember my old story about my American friend who came to India and he wanted to have a typical Indian meal, and I took him to that Maharashtrian house where they had kept a row of pots and a carpet for people to sit on and the part to keep your, for the part to sit on and the other side to keep your thali on. He went and sat on the other side and said, you eat on very low tables. Why? He came from a culture where there is nothing like a pot. What is a pot? Can you say a pot is not a table? You're sitting on it, that's all. No? So what is that? What is that drishti? Your drishti. If you understand that all creation is a concept, then drishti eva srishti, isn't it? Gandharva nagaram yatha. It's all conceptual. Only for us, creation is a twofold process. First, things are created inside, conceived of, and then you have to do something to make it outside. Therefore, we will say Srishtasya Drishtihi. Yeah, objective and subjective. Yeah? But what is the objective reality? Nothing but a concept. No? So, how objective it really is? How objective is a table? Is nothing but wood. Correct? If I come from a culture where there is no table, how will I recognize the table and say, what is that funny structure? It's all wood. But what is it? Or like that boy Rohit from Rishikesh who came to Bombay for Samudra Darshanam. And his brother left him on the seashore. Yeah, मैं जाके आता हूँ. He went and came back after 20 minutes. समुद्र दर्शन बराबर किया क्या नहीं? लेकिन समुद्र है किधर? Where is the ocean? What is there? That is nothing but water. I've seen a lot of water on the Ganga. Ganga in flood looks like this only. So what is ocean? Conceptual, isn't it? What is wave? Conceptual, isn't it? But suppose a wave can sink a ship. Yeah. Who said no? Who said no? You think concept doesn't mean there is no power or energy? Power, energy, all are there in a concept only. No? In fact, power, energy, etc. is also nothing but a concept. All based on what? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. That's only reality. Iti Vedanteshu Vichakshana. Vedanteshu Vichakshana. Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitartaha. One who has understood the meaning of the Vedanta well, made it a fact of your life. This is what your life is about. You can have fun with all the concepts. संसार का खेल खेलो बहुत मजा आता है. मेला है इधर. It's a big मेला. Enjoy it. Sometimes I get fed up of it also. How's all that? बस चुपचाप जाके बैठो एक जगह में और क्या. So that is the reality, and this is exactly what we are seeking to understand. The whole attempt, all the sadhanas, everything that you do in life. So that's why Krishna says in the Gita. Gita is very powerful. That sarvaitu akhilam karma e partha jnane avisashyate. It all has to resolve in knowledge. If it doesn't resolve in knowledge, what are you doing all that for? Playing games. I remember a young man, Indian origin, but based in UK, Ireland. He's a Chota Guru there, runs a small ashram like setup and all that. And teaches a hodgepodge of yoga, this, that, etc. And this was long back. He came to Swamiji. He came to Swamiji and said, so Swamiji asked him, so what do you do? Swamiji, I do this meditation, I do that meditation, I do this, talked about all the men. And Swamiji looked at him and said, you like to play games with your mind, huh? And the guy was so shocked by that statement. He had a 3-month visa to India. He decided to stay in Rishikesh. This happened in Rishikesh. And Swamiji was staying in Rishikesh for 3 months. He decided to stay right there, not travel anywhere in India and learn. It's a good transformation. Yeah. Because that's what you're doing, isn't it? If moksha is not near you, if knowledge is not there, then you're playing games. What are you doing? As a child, you wanted a doll. As an adult, you wanted a real baby. That's the only difference. How much has it changed? And as an older person, you want your child to give you a baby. It's not enough being a great mother. You want to be a grandmother. You're a great mom. You are good enough. No. Be a grandmother. If it is a simple desire, no problems. Ishvara arpana buddhi prasada buddhi. The Lord's will, it's my children to decide, I will accept whatever it is, prasada. Because my aim is moksha. I have done my responsibilities as a parent. Now it's my child has to take the ball and run. Fine. Let the child decide what his life should be. You be there to advise when asked for. Please don't give advice when not asked for. Definitely don't control. The moment you drop control, you find your children are getting closer to you. And some people come in, yes, Swamiji, I don't control my child anymore. This lady came and told me, I don't child. And the husband says, yeah, she has transferred it all to me. Be careful, okay? It's a behavior pattern you have to examine and take care. Understand you're just playing games. Keep your focus on what moksha is about, and then do what is necessary to manage your mind, to manage your life. A lot of things are necessary for that. Do that. Do what it takes. And focus on moksha so the study automatically comes into your life. Then what happens after all this study? That next verse, I'll do it elaborately next time. Okay, next class. Good place to stop. It's past 8. Okay, Om Tat Sat.
Pranam. Thank you, Swamiji.